Alright, dear children of class 8A, let's continue with the next topic from the chapter electricity. And this is almost the last topic as per the syllabus and the topic we are dealing for final examination. Okay, and the name of the topic that we are going to start is static electricity in the atmosphere. As you know, static electricity means the study of the electric charges which are at what? Rest. Okay, now there are large amount of charges, positive and negative charge can also develop in the atmosphere, and this development of large amount of charges, positive and negative charge, huge amount of positive and negative charge developed in the atmosphere can bring some effect. Okay, some effect in the atmosphere. Okay, and this effect is actually nothing but we call as lightning. Okay, we call as what? Lightning. But it doesn't mean that lightning can occur all the time. Okay, all the what time. So now in this particular video we learn how lightning takes place. Okay, and how what is lightning conductor and what are the safety measures that we can take during lightning. So these are the topic that we are going to learn. Okay, so to understand this part, as you know, our atmosphere has static electric charges. Static electric charges means, as I said, one is negative charge, another is positive charge, but these charges are at rest. Okay, now these charges can be seen in the form of lightning. When huge amount of these static charges that is seen in the lightning, they can develop in the atmosphere. Okay, and these charges can be seen in the form of what? Lightning. That's why lightning occurs because of a massive electric charges. The massive electric charges flow from a cloud to the ground, because you know when lightning occurs, lightning can take place from cloud to the ground. Okay, and this lightning which takes place from cloud to ground is due to the flow of what? Massive amount of charge that is developed in the atmosphere. Now even it can flow from cloud to cloud. See, charges, that means the lightning can flow from charge to cloud, and even from one part of cloud to another part. So this is the main case that the lightning can occur in the atmosphere, okay, or in the sky. So this lightning can also produce some thundering also. So thunder or the some kind of sound is also heard. Okay, and this sound is also called thunder. Okay, but as I said, lightning is actually due to the what? The development of huge amount of electric charges, static electric charges in the cloud. Okay, and due to the flow of massive flow of these electric charges from cloud to cloud, or from cloud to ground, or from one part of cloud to another, and we usually see the flow of massive charge in the form of what? Lightning. Now for this to understand again, so there is a figure 8.18 that you can see in page number 129 in your textbook, where the lightning can be occurs. Okay, and you can see this diagram. There are the cloud where the large amount of positive and negative charge has been developed. Okay, and due to this charge which can flow between the cloud and cloud, and due to flow massive charge, okay, it flows from cloud to cloud, there is a lightning takes place even between cloud and cloud, and there is a massive charge even flow from cloud to the ground also. Okay, and that makes also the lightning then occurs. So lightning which occurs from cloud to ground is actually due to the flow of this massive charge developed in the cloud. Okay, and that charges flows from cloud to ground, or from cloud to cloud, or some part of cloud to other cloud. Okay, so this way we can understand that lightning can take place. Now the first part that we are going to do is how lightning flow from cloud to the ground, and this is the most common part that we see. Okay, the lightning can flow from cloud to the ground. Now this happens basically during a storm. During a storm, a cloud develops a separation of electric charges. Like this is the case of storm, where the cloud develop a separation of charges? Electric charges. Now the charge separated may be due to the collision of water droplet present in the cloud, because cloud is completely made of a water droplet, and when this water droplet, okay, have collisions, and the collision of water droplet with each other can generate friction, and due to the large amount of friction generated, what happened? Each water droplet generates some amount of charges, either positive charge or negative charge. Okay, and these charges which are also called as what charge? Static charges. So what happened? As a result, an area within the cloud develop a negative charge, and other area develop what charge? Positive charge. So if you look at the diagram, suppose this is a cloud where some area has been developed by positive charge and some area has been developed by negative charge. Even in this region of cloud, some area has been developed as positive charge and some area has been developed as negative charge. But usually it is observed that the lower part of the cloud usually develop a negative charge. See, this lower part of the cloud, you can see in the diagram also, acquire what charge? Negative charge. As the negative charge accumulate at the lower portion of the cloud, the negative charge on the surface of the ground are repelled. There are some amount of negative charge which is generated on the surface, that is repelled by this negative charge. So this negative charge which is generated on the lower portion of the cloud, okay, separate, okay, means it will separate, okay, the negative charge on the surface of the ground. That means there is a repulsion takes place between the same charges, thus leaving the ground positive charge. Thus leaving the ground what charge? Positive charge. So when the ground is leaving by positive charge, then the increase in charge difference forces the negative charge out of the cloud to jump towards the ground. Means whatever charges, negative charge which is developed in the lower portion of the cloud is forced to move from this cloud lower portion to the ground. So when the charge flows, the huge amount of charge that flows from this lower portion of the cloud to the ground, okay, then definitely due to the flow of charge in the sky during the time of storm, we understand there is a flow of what? There is a lightning takes place in the sky. But the actual reason, as I said, is due to the what? Due to the some amount of positive charge that is developed in the ground. Thus, there is an increase in charge difference. There is an increase in charge difference. That means the amount of charge in the lower portion of the cloud and the ground will not be same. That means there will be a potential difference maintained between this lower portion of the cloud and the ground. And you know, you have learned in the last YouTube video, when there is a potential difference between the two ends, then what will flow? The charge will flow. The charge will flow. And due to that, all the negative charge of that remain in the lower portion of the cloud are forced to move, flow from this end to the ground. And this causes lightning between the cloud and the ground. This causes the lightning between cloud and the ground. And this is a natural case, okay, where we cannot stop it. Okay, so lightning cannot be stopped. Now the next thing that we need to keep in mind is when a huge amount of charge builds up in the cloud, the insulating property of air breaks down. Means air, a dry air act as an insulator. But if the dry air will not, if there is no dry air content, there is a moist air, okay, then this insulating property between the cloud and the ground will simply breaks up. So as a result, what happened? An electric discharge takes place between the two opposite charged cloud also. Two opposite what cloud? Charged cloud also. Or within a charged cloud or between a cloud and the ground. This causes the flash of lightning that we can see in the sky. That means this lightning occurs for a fraction of a second. That's why we see in the form of flashes of lightning in the sky. It's due to the charge which is generated, okay, between the two cloud or between the cloud and the ground, okay, and this charge flows in a massive way, okay, with a very high speed, okay, and this makes the observation of what? Lightning that we can see in the what? Sky. Now the next point that we need to keep in mind means when lightning occurs, there is some amount of heat and the sound is also produced. Some amount of heat will generate also and sound is also can be heard. But you know sound will be heard after a certain second when the lightning occurs. Now the reason behind it, I'll tell you that light travels faster than sound. Okay, the speed of sound is less compared to the speed of what? Light. That's why once the lightning takes place, after a few seconds only we can hear a sound of thunder. But children, remember this part, we can see a production of heat as well as what? Sound. Because heat is a form of energy, sound is also a form of energy. And both form of energy is produced during lightning. So light, heat and sound produced during lightning also. The electric discharge between the cloud, or between a cloud and the ground, causes a large amount of energy to produce. Large amount of energy is also produced in the form of heat and sound. So when electric discharge takes place between the cloud or between the cloud and the ground, what will produce? The huge amount or large amount of energy that is also produced, okay, due to in the form of what? Heat and sound. That's why the heat so produced causes air to expand. So the heat which is generated, okay, will also produce the air to expand and vibrate suddenly. So when that amount of heat which produce makes the air to expand, then what happens? The air molecules will start vibrating suddenly, okay, and due to the vibration of air molecules, okay, then usually what happens? Some type of sound of thunder will also produce. That's why this result in the thunder that sometimes accompanies lightning. Means when the lightning takes place, yes, we hear the sound of thunder also. It's actually due to the large amount of heat which produces, okay, in the region, okay, causes the air to expand, and due to this air which get expanded, okay, it makes the air particles to vibrate suddenly, and the vibration only leads the production of what? Sound. That's why we can hear a sound after the lightning takes place also. So this is the main cause or main reason that we see lightning takes place in the sky. Now the next thing that we need to keep in mind is lightning is a natural case, okay, which cannot be stopped, but we can take some safety measures, okay, in order to safeguard ourselves, okay, in order to safeguard our house during the lightning also. And this part is also very important. So safety measures during lightning. Safety measures during what? Lightning. So lightning, as I said, is a high energy electric discharge. So it could be very dangerous for them also. So it can make the human life also. It makes it kill the what? It kill the what animals also, and it can destroy the what crops also. It can destroy the tree. It can destroy the trees also, and it can take human life also. Okay, so it must be known to protect ourselves during the thunderstorm. So when there is a thunderstorm, that means there is a lightning takes place, and the sound of thunder also get heard. But we can take some safety measures in order to safeguard from this lightning. So some of the safety measures that we can take are as follows. So let me just highlight what are the safety measures that we need to do. Number one is do not stand under a tree. Yes, the tree, especially a long tree or pointed tree, are very dangerous with lightning. So do not stand under a tree. If the tree gets struck by lightning, it could catch fire and put you in a danger also. Yes, because when lightning takes place, please do not stand under the tree. That is very important one. So we have to avoid going away from the tree. Next, try to go indoor for shelter. So either we have to make ourselves in the room only house, or we can go in a hall, or we always have to safeguard ourselves only. But please go indoor for shelter. So you could even take shelter inside the vehicle also. If you are traveling vehicle, means we can remain in the vehicles also. Next, do not run across a large open area or high ground. If you are in the ground or large open area, please do not run. Just hide yourself in one shelter part. Okay, so do not run across a large open area or high ground. Now we have the last point. If you cannot find a safe shelter, squat down in a low-lying place. Just squat down in a low-lying place. So in this way, we can safeguard ourselves from being lightning. So there are 4 safety measures that we need to follow, okay, for during the time of thunderstorm, means during the time of lightning, so that we can safeguard ourselves from lightning, and anytime we can make save our life also. So children, I have explained in detail about the lightning, okay, how the lightning takes place, okay, and what are the safety measures for lightning. Now in the next YouTube video, you learn about lightning conductor.